How was your viewpoint of that whole thing? I'm actually very curious, as coming from the outside of it and not really being immersed in the world. That whole thing, which is one of the biggest things that's ever happened in wrestling, and it was literally still to this day, to an extent, it's not let go. But certainly during that time when Brett was away, it you could not escape it. It was always brought up in a big discussion. So when you're coming into this, and that's obviously it has to be a big chapter. Well, how did you view all that and dissecting all that for you? Like, what was that like for you?
Um, when I first started digging into it, I was like, again, I was fairly naive when it came to sort of the um the real nuts and bolts of how people really thought and the honor that sort of came with a guy of Brett's stature. And I was thinking like, well, what's the big deal? Why is he so mad? I mean, he signed this, he's going to this other promotion. He is the champion of the WWE or WWF at the time.
Hmm.
So, however Vince got himself into the situation, the two of them have got to come to a situation where, someone else is going to be the champion, and the idea that Brett would balk because he felt a personal affront to Sean, to me initially thought, well, why, it's just Brett sort of being Brett. But then the more I got into it and the more I looked at his side of it and about how for years, for 300 days out of the year, and the turnbuckles and the injuries, and what and how, and to the degree that his life was geared around making Vince and the promotion not necessarily happy, but showing up for them time after time after time, and
Hmm.
that he did deserve to go out on terms that were you know not so embarrassing and not so demeaning to him. That's the sort of the way that he thought about it. And the more and more I dug into it, the more and more I understood really how he felt, and about how something as simple as him being, called out prematurely while put in a sharpshooter, his finishing move. Um, I initially, like I said earlier, I thought, well, it's really not that big a deal. But then the more and more I got into it, I really feel like that, and he says afterwards that he would do the same thing over again if given the chance. That
Yeah.
he clearly felt, and probably if that were Undertaker, or if that were Austin, and guys who get to the sort of the Mount Rushmore status of that world, I mean, they would all feel the same way.